Hey, friends, and welcome back to Vibes and Delights. I'm your host, Frenny, aka Friend the Human.
And I'm Slapper.
And y'all, I hope you had a good day today. Let me tell you, people was being so weird at work. People were being weird in real life. I heard pew pew shots while I was working. Slappo was on his way home. I thought he was pulling into the parking lot where we live. And then I heard like, bah, bah, bah. And then I heard, woo, woo, woo. Yeah, that was me. That was the sound of the popo. That was the sound of the popo. and like, and then I heard
the police.
is that police? Anyway, but like I heard all that, and then I was like, "Where are you? Get your ass inside!" And he wasn't even here.
Where are you?
Right. And that was terrifying. But there is some good news. Slappa, tell him the good news.
It's not really good news. I got a really shitty job, so
Yeah. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you because you like quit your job a couple years ago and you stepped right. It was a couple years ago now, right? Was it a year ago?
A year ago.
Oh, my bad. Anyway, has it only been a year?
Yes, it's been a long ass year.
Oh my God. Happy New Year. Okay, no, seriously. So Slappa like quit his job about a year ago and has just like stepped deeply into the role of just like being a stay-at-home dad again. And I so thank him like so much. And I'm so jealous, like low key, because even though it sounds really suspicious, right? That's a few extra hours a week that we're going to be able to like help make ends meet. I'm really excited for that. And also, who knows, maybe Slappa will make new friends. Like it seems like your husband, the people that you were being friends with, they kind of fell off the face of the earth. What do you think about that?
Well, yeah, that's normal with coworkers. Like you have friends at work, and you might like hang out outside of work, but if you're not working together, you're usually not gonna stay friends.
Okay, well, what about my best friend?
Well, I still have one good friend from work. Okay, so do you.
That's true. That's true.
Every once in a while, one sticks, but for the most part,
I like how you immediately called me out. You were like, "Well, I do too," because she just comes into our house. She just lets herself in. It's pretty funny, but we deeply appreciate her and love her. We love her with all of our heart, and we love my best friend too. We love him with all of our heart too. It just sucks when they're not near. It just sucks when you just kind of lose that community of people, and it feels like you're alone. It's really lonely, and so I'm just mostly excited that Slap is going to have new friends. And plus, I'm, I don't know, I'm just excited to hear all the weird shit y'all are going to talk about. I want to know if y'all are even going to talk. What do you think it's going to be?
I think it's pretty much here's what you're doing, go do it. It's like part time. You could choose your own hours. That's why I was like, okay, shit. It's like $11 an hour, real low. But I was desperate. The interview process was
onboarding. It was onboarding. There was no interview.
No, it was an interview. Okay, listen. Not everyone got picked.
Baby, you got picked.
They told you. Here's why. All right. So a Zoom call with like 100 people in it. Immediately, as soon as the interviewer starts talking, you can see him leaving. There's like 60 people left, and they're like, all right, we sent you an email. You got to follow this process. If you could do this process, you got the job. The process was, can you log in on a website? Can you put the password and the username we gave you into this website and click login? If you could do that, you got it. Guess what? I fucking did that, guys.
Fucking did that. You did that shit. Yes. What's wrong with you? No, but I'm just really happy. I'm just really proud of you for getting it after so many no's. You know what I'm saying? I'm so proud of you.
I would have loved some no's. I got silence. I got complete silence.
You got ghosted
the whole year. Just no nothing.
Well, I'm super proud of you. And I'm like low key jealous because you have a full work from home job. And my job is only hybrid, even though I don't know, man, I'd rather do that and use my own setup, my own computer, my own keyboard. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I do like the separation. So that's cool. Anyway, I'm so proud of you. Y'all tell us in the Discord that congratulations to Sapa. Maybe he can tell you more about it in the Discord if y'all ask him nicely. I know he pretends like he watches, he does not be up in there. So if y'all do ask him, make sure you tag him. All right, guys. So we did take a break last week. Slappa and I were just emotionally drained from the holidays. This week, next week, I'm going to be in office. They switched it from the third week to the second week of every month. So that's okay. Also, I can't even believe it's almost been 1 year since we started all of this. Like, what do you think about that, honey?
What is this, like our 34th episode?
It is an episode.
I don't know. We've been doing it. We're going to keep doing it. It's fun.
We're doing it right. Whatever the fuck they say. Anyway, I just wanted to, get caught up like I normally do. Say Happy New Year to you guys. This is the year where Slappa, what's your New Year's resolution? Yeah, what's yours?
I'm just quitting smoking this year. I'm just going to do it.
You gonna do it?
Do it.
Okay. I'm probably right on your tail because I'm not like drinking like I used to, which is absolutely amazing for me financially. You know what I'm saying? Like losing weight because I'm not just full of sugar and empty carbs and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't know. I'm probably right behind you, but now I'm just kind of sad because we built this beautiful like outside patio environment, and now we're not really going to use it. But I mean, I guess we can still use it. You know what I'm saying? Like it just won't be like every night. And I guess that kind of bums me out a little.
I'm not bummed out. I'm still going to go out there when it's not freezing.
There is a heater out there for a
For
reason.
your feet.
And I was telling you that I wanted us to get like a taller one. That was the goal. That's always been what I wanted. Is I wanted a like super tall one that doesn't go, or that one that does go above your shins. But anyway, heat rises. Damn it. It's okay. Anyway. All right, y'all. So this today was an interesting day. I was trying to look up like politicians and stuff and try to think about like the new like presidential election, and realized very quickly that I don't know who these people are, what any of this stands for. You know what I'm saying? Like, who is your people? I don't know anything. And so I found that Cat Williams clip that I literally just posted before going live on TikTok and then starting our podcast. Honey, tell us about this Cat Williams situation.
I mean, I don't know much more than you. I just have been seeing clips of his interview on some guy's podcast, and he was just basically telling all about the industry and the people, whoever else, like the kings of comedy, basically. They put Bernie Mac up there, but they tried to not make him the headliner. But it was like, even if he's not the headliner, that's why people are coming. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't selling out all those stadiums. That was Bernie Mac, the king of comedy.
Really?
Yeah, like he always got the biggest applause and everything, even when he wasn't the last guy. You know what I mean?
And you know what? Now that I think about it, like even in what's that movie called, State of the Union, or with Chris, whatever his name is, the one who got the fucking shit slapped out of him by Will Smith. Oh. Which one? Who's that? Rock.
Chris Rock.
Yeah, he got his shit rocked. I'm gonna remember it like that forever. Anyway, I'm gonna tell people this was a pet rock. Anyway, no. I just specifically remember you mentioning that they were talking shit about Bernie Mac, and I'm like really like surprised and yet not surprised, because when I was growing up, I remember when Bernie Mac passed away, my dad suddenly came to me and he was like really huffy and puffy, and he was like mad because Bernie Mac was gay now or something. And then I was like, first of all, what is that to be mad about? But second of all, like, you know what I'm saying? Um, why do you say that? And he said it was because he like passed away from like pneumonia, and the only time celebrities pass away from pneumonia is when they actually have like HIV or something. And I was like, that doesn't even make any sense, Daddy. That doesn't make a lick of sense. And then, even if that was the case, is he suddenly not fucking hilarious anymore? You know what I'm saying? He just kind of like stormed off or whatever. But like, I don't know. Like, that makes a lot of sense. Like, maybe they started spreading lies about him after he passed away, and now things are starting to come up. And then it's like really shocking to hear that, like, what would you say, like Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, and who else? But regardless, like you said that they were like the mafia, like the mob.
Yeah, like he said, they basically have their own little like
Click.
comedy click gang type, and if you roll with them, you have to do what they say, and if you don't roll with them, they're going to shit talk you and try to keep you from making money.
That is crazy, but also not surprising, because I mean, I guess they kind of might have had like a, like, because BET, right? Def Comedy Jam. You know what I'm saying? When we were younger, I can't even remember what it was called on BET, but we would watch it, and it would be like Bruce on there. He was my favorite, but I think he passed away though, because from for some reason or other. But regardless, that makes a lot of sense. Like that they would treat themselves as this like higher being of like stuff. And then oh, somebody said, Cat Williams had said something about Steve Harvey. I'll have to look it up. I'll have to look it up. And if somebody reminds me, I'll look at it later. But I'll have to look at the interview myself. I just would really appreciate it if people in the TikTok live, if you're listening, if you can just um share vibes and delights with people. I just want to go live with them during this time so that we can like have vibes and delights on our Vibes and Delights podcast. You know what I'm saying? I love my following, you know what I'm saying? But this is my page. Follow the podcast page. You know what I'm saying? We're so close. We're at 863, I think, as of today, 1/4/2024 at 5:23 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I just like, I don't know. I just want to get to 1,000 so we can go live, so we can start doing this on the actual respective TikTok channel. Anywho, Slappa picked two stories for us today, and I'm extremely excited to find out about what's going on this story. The story is called, it's from Best of Redditor Updates, and it says, Years of fun gone, angry and disappointed. Original OP has had his Magic the Gathering card stolen. Y'all know I love me some Magic the Gathering. What about you, baby?
It's all right.
Man, if you don't get out, we get out. Get the fuck out of here. No, I taught Saba how to play. It was really cute. Like, what were you playing, Yum Yum? What was that shit called? What was that fucking shitty card game called that you were playing?
I don't remember.
Give
Give
me
me
a
a
clue.
clue.
I
I
played
played
It's
a
a
lot
lot
like
of
of
the
shit.
shit.
so like Blizzard made it, and
Oh, Hearthstone?
yeah, yeah. I saw Slappa playing that, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was like, "This looks like lies and failure. Let me bring you over to this side of Wizards of the Coast and the Magic the Gathering." You know what I'm saying? And I taught him how to play it, and that was like the worst decision I ever made. But like, it was a good ride while it lasted. Tell him why we don't play anymore, baby. Tell him.
Because you got to get good and you don't want to.
You know what? I walked into that. So fuck you. Anyway. All right. So It's from Best of Reddit updates. The reason why we don't play anymore is because Slap a Slap keeps making mill decks. He wants you to deck yourself. He wants you to run out of cards to play so that you have to forfeit the game. That's what he wants you to do. That's how he plays Magic. I'm the kind that hits it and quits it and gives respect to you. But no, Slappa's like, I'm going to take your whole livelihood, your library, and all your creatures and all your plans, your fucking plans that don't work because you don't have cars. That's how I feel about it. Okay. Whew.
Listen. I'm a certified gamer. And as a gamer, I'm going to win. And how you win is you counter your opponent's strategy. So if you're going to throw out a bunch of stuff, I'm just going to make it so you ain't got stuff to throw out.
Oh, wow. All right. Okay. I pushed it. No regrets. Anyway, so Best of Redditor updates. It says that this is years of fun gone, angry and disappointed. Original OP has Magic the Gathering card stolen. I will say that regardless of whatever anger I have towards Sapa, I would never wish that on anybody. Those cards are fucking expensive. You know what I'm saying? I think myself, I think one of my most expensive cards was like $15-20. That's a lot of money. Now think about it. Like you might think, especially in this day and age, that $15-20, that's not a lot of money. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not a lot of money. But think about that. It's just a fucking card, just like a card. You know what I'm saying? So spending $15-20 on one single card, that's a lot of money to be, just throwing around. And so people have decks that are like worth hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, depending on the rarity of the card. So I am very nervous to read this because I can already feel the cringe.
Did you have card playing kids, like Yu-Gi-Oh kids, in your school cafeteria?
I had the Yu-Gi-Oh kids, I had the Pokemon kids, and then in high school we had the Magic the Gathering kids and the Pokemon kids and the Yu-Gi-Oh kids. But I also specifically remember in middle school we had Beyblade kids.
Whoa, dude. That's a different kind of rich kid.
Yeah, like that shit was wild. Like they actually brought the like things, like they brought the like the like what I don't even
arena or whatever.
Yeah, they brought the arenas and shit. Like, oh man, I feel like there was one more, but I think those are the big ones, yeah. And I think that sometime no, I think that's pretty much it. I think it was Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, the Beyblade kids in middle school, and Pokemon. I think that's all we had. What about you? What did you see?
I mean, we just had Yu-Gi-Oh kids mostly. They were all kind of on the same page. I think at some point they switched from Pokemon to Yu-Gi-Oh. They're like, we're too old for Pokemon. We're into Yu-Gi-Oh.
This is me now.
I remember them getting in tussles over people losing cards or like blaming each other, stealing each other's cards and stuff. I'm not sure exactly how it all turned out. None of them really like stopped being friends, but they for sure like 2 or 3 times each year in high school, there would be some fight over some card missing or something. Or maybe it was just over a match. I don't know. I remember one time some dude was like, "You stole my Blue Eyes White Dragon!" Loud as hell across the whole cafeteria. It was funny as hell.
Well, damn, shit. I don't remember that. I remember sometimes the boys wouldn't talk for a while. Like they would like split, like they had like 3 tables that they kind of like kept to themselves. You know what I'm saying? One was for like eating and snacks, and the other 2 were for playing against people. And like I remember that sometimes like it was like these 2 main dudes, and one of them was a choir kid. I remember he started sitting at one of the other tables, like he and this other kid would always sit at this one table, right? Well, something happened and he was like really moody and quiet for a couple days, and then he started sitting at the other table, and then it was like a few months before he sat back at that table. I knew I seen that. I seen the subtleties, you know what I'm saying, but I haven't seen like an all-out fight, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. All right, now for real, for the story now. Sorry, guys. All right, so years of fun gone, angry and disappointed. Original OP has his Magic the Gathering card stolen. Trigger warning, theft. That wasn't the trigger warning I thought it was. That was not the trigger warning I thought it was going to be. It was like, anyway, all right. Apologies for the wall of text. I need to rant. I've been really upset since this happened last week, and I just like to get it off my chest to people who might understand my frustration. When I've told others, I just get the so they're just cards response. Uh,
Bitch, let me steal your car.
right. Like, I don't know,
It's
man.
just a car.
I feel like that alone, just like real quick, is just like kind of the same mentality of like my dad told me that people don't really give a fuck about things until they've paid their own money for them, right? So it's very possible that these people seriously do not understand what it takes to build a deck. They don't understand like the love and care that it takes to build a deck. And also they probably just don't give a fuck like you do because they didn't shell out the money in the first place. So like, all right. I started playing at MTG and I'm going to say MTG from now on, you know. I started playing MTG in mid high school back in '04. I started playing Mirrodin, really, and Darkstill were current. Being a school kid, I obviously didn't have a lot of money, and what little cash I did have from my 8 hours per week job, I spent mainly on boosters. Those boosters will eat your money up, dog. What are they like $10, $15 a piece?
That's why I just stole them.
You didn't do that with me, did you?
No, we just bought ours online because like
Okay.
you can just go online and pick out the cards you want nowadays. You do not have to gamble all your money on these card packs, and do not do that unless you're one of these people on YouTube and TikTok opening packs and making hella money that way. That's fine, but if you're just a regular ass kid, just go online, pick the ones you need.
Yeah, like definitely if you already know what card you want, I would go online. But there's also card shops too. I I yeah, okay, I was about to say I haven't seen a good card shop in a while. But all right, but I have. It's the local game shop. So all right. So and what little cash I did have from my 8 hour per week job, I spent mainly on boosters as I hadn't. Also, I was going to say one more thing. I'd say people who like doing boosters also might be the more gambling type, like they get a thrill from it. I myself do not like the thrill of it, so I don't. Anyway, so I hadn't really gotten into the scene of buying singles for what I needed because he, didn't have the money. Right. All right. So I mainly played in the kitchen. Oh my gosh, I mainly played kitchen table magic, and my friends and I would always spend hours upon hours playing with our terribly constructed decks. And they are when you when you have to rely on the boosters. What?
Is this where the term kitchen table polyamory comes from?
I'm sorry. What? Okay, stop. I need you to put a pin in that. We've already wasted so much time.
In a Venn diagram of people who play Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, and are polyamorous is almost a circle.
I fucking hate you so much for that.
Continue.
I don't even know what to say to that. Put a pin in that, sir. Oh my. I don't know the answer to that question. I'm gonna say let's put a pin in it. And you have a quieter keyboard than I do. So I was gonna say while I'm reading, why don't you look that up and see if you can find like anything about the origin. I mean, we can, but now I'm like interested. So anyway, so I mainly played kitchen table magic, and also I thought it was just kitchen table card games. So fucking weirdo. Anyway, and my friends and I would always spend. I'm so angry. Okay, I'm angry at you. Is that I mainly played kitchen table magic, and my friends and I would always spend hours upon hours with our terribly constructed decks, but we had fun. And again, I was just saying that them decks really do be terrible when you're like relying on the packs, you know what I'm saying? Because you just get the same bullshit over and over again. Fast forward to about 2 years ago, and I've gotten back into Magic with some uni friends. I'd also say we annually get back into it and then come back out and then annual. So I'd say we play Magic regularly, at least once a year. Anyway, I spent some time lurking on this sub as well as browsing Tapped Out, which is a card site, relentlessly to learn about deck metas, card combos, etc. Basically, I had just reawakened the enthusiasm I had for Magic as a 14-year-old, and only now was 22 and had more disposable income to spend on my hobby. The friends that I play with regularly to this day live a good hour or so away, so it's not always practical to just pop over for a game of Magic. So I started looking for a local game shop to play at. Now I'm not going to name and shame. Damn, he rhyming. He's spitting, bro. Let that man cook. As this isn't really their fault, they're just more or less the scene of the crime. So I found a local game shop to play at and have been playing there for just over a year. But last Friday was probably my last time. Also, I don't know if maybe he forgot or maybe he was too young to participate. Friday Night Magic is like the worst time for any like casual player to come out. Friday Night Magic is the significant day to play Magic in local game shops. So if you're going to get some assholes, you're going to get some big, fat, raging, disgusting, stinky chocolate starfishes. I'm just saying. And then, so see, Friday Night Magic. So he does know. Okay. So Friday Night Magic usually kicks off at about 7, but people rock up from 5:30 onward. And after we help set up tables, people will warm up, play games, trade, and admire each other's collections. When I started playing again, I bought a really nice 30-page World Wake folio. Man, I wonder where I wish we had any of those old binders. Like I don't even have my old mats or nothing. Anyway, um, I had a really nice 30-page World Wake folio. Also, if you're out there and you still have your Pokemon cards and you have them in the Discord and you're in our Discord, join the Discord. I was gonna say, I want to see it. I want to see it because people would spend bucks, bro. All right.
Bro, my mom sold my shit. I had an OG red Pokédex binder with all my holographics in that bitch, and she just sold it.
Oh, I gotta say, I think that's something that you and I like bonded over. My mom also threw away my first 150. Like half of them were holographic. I had like the special edition from the movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a really hard time in my life. Anyway, and what's worse is she threw them away, or she didn't throw them away. She sold them. She knew they were worth something, but she didn't understand how much she threw away. You know what I'm saying? And it was fucking tragic to learn that she sold it at the community garage sale for $5. I was fucking sick.
Bro, garage sale, like flippers made so much money in the early 2000s off of Pokemon cards. Like legit. Everybody's parents pretty much were just like, I'm getting rid of this. I don't care. What do you want? Some cards? $3, dude. Go ahead. I don't care. And then they sell them for like 600.
Right. And I just know I had some fucking good cards in there. Like I had the OG Charizard in there and shit. Like I separated the mythics and the rares and proudly displayed them. Nothing super rare or valuable, but there were a lot of moderately valuable cards in the folder. The rarest thing I probably had was a Gaia's Cradle. Can you look that up and see how much that is, dear? I had inherited a box of really old cards when I stopped playing in high school and found one of those in there. Anyway, last week before we started, I think Slappa found the answer. How much is that card?
Okay, I don't know if he had the like the ones that are worth the most, which are probably the original prints, but like it's going for 800.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wait, this one is going for 1600.
Oh my gosh.
So that's a card right there.
Holy jeez, that is crazy. When you get to this part in the Discord, say something in the chat so that we can show y'all what it looks like. Wow, that's crazy. I had inherited a box of really old cards, and that was in there. Anyway, like, oh, and he said he
But
got
we
it in high school.
did have that expensive one.
Dang, that's fucking insane. So damn, because he said 2004. Anyway, all right. So anyway, last week we were playing, and there's a guy who's a regular. When everyone started pulling out the folders, they were all sitting next to me, and I had my folio on the table. Someone asked if they could see it, and I said sure. A few people started looking over it, and I got it back. I did a quick flip through to make sure it was all there, and then I put it back in my bag. Friday night magic started, and I sat down to play my first opponent. I had gotten up to look at who my opponent was, and I sat back down in the same place. He sat across from me. We finished up our games relatively quickly, and I went to pull out my folio, and it wasn't in my bag anymore. I didn't think much of it at first. I must have put it on the table, but it wasn't anywhere that I could see. I started looking around. I thought maybe someone had taken it upon themselves to look through my folder without my permission, but I went to every table and couldn't see it. I started to get really anxious. And so I went to the store owner and told them that I think someone stole my folder of rares and mythics that I had. And he asked me to make sure I hadn't just misplaced it. And then he went out onto the floor and yelled out over everyone, telling them that it had gone missing and that no one had been in or out since the game started. So, of course, no one owned up to it. He told me he couldn't go through people's bags, but even if he could, he couldn't do anything if they refused to open them up. I didn't play any of the games. I felt really sick. I frantically spent the rest of the night trying to find my folder. A few people helped, but it was just gone. My Gaia's Cradle, my Proteus staff, my Solemn Simulacrum, Mind Slaver, my F&M promo Tormented Hero, which admittedly is not worth anything, right? I was just happy that I got it. My Mycosynth Lattice, Blink Moth Nexus, Foil Seat of the Synode, Foil Azul. Oh, dang, these foil cards, bro. Lost but Seeking, Glimpse of Nature, and Kiki Jiki, Minimo, and a bunch of others all gone. I lost a Nissa that I had. Oh, dang. That's like a merfolk creature. I think that's a blue creature anyway, or a blue something. It's a blue card. Man, that sounds like a mean deck, bro. Anyway, well, no, they're just cards. They're just random cards, right?
Yeah.
And that I drafted among the Magic 15 release, which each year they release certain cards over and over again, and they're just to make sure that they're within regulation of the rules and stuff like that. So they release like the same cards over and over, and then they add new ones, and they all have like these like markers on them. The M15 means Magic 2015. So that means that he got that card in like 2015 or some shit. Anyway, and a Jace. Oh, and a Planeswalker. But I wasn't too bummed about that, seeing as they're recent. But still, like even still, like those Planeswalker cards are still expensive on their own. I mean, I guess all the same, like they're like not as rare, but still to lose one is pretty brutal. You know what I'm saying? And I was right when I said a blue deck because Jace is definitely blue. And then you would think that people who share a common love for a game would have more respect for other people's property. No, they don't. And appreciate the care that goes into everyone's cards. No, they don't. So now I'm left with nothing but my Rakdos deck, which rotates out in a month, and a box of commons. Damn, bro. I really want to up and start rebuilding my collection again, but losing so much over something so wrong really hurt my soul. I've put together a list of singles which will start to rebuild the collection, but the price is already in the multiple of hundreds. And by the time I'll be done, it'll be in the thousands, even over time. And that's just not money I can justify spending. So I'm not sure what the point of the post is other than to get it off my chest to people who will understand how much it sucks. But yeah, maybe you guys can offer me some words that will help me get excited to rebuild. Edited to add, a lot of people are PMing me asking what store this happened at. I don't want to name and shame them, as aside from a bad apple or two, they're a pretty good group. All I will say is that it's primarily a video game store that runs Magic events on Tuesday and Friday and is in Brisbane, Australia. And then just off the bat, like that's really hurtful. Like that hurt my soul. Like even it's you say people should respect the craft, but they really don't. People forever, I say, do not give a shit unless it's happening to them. They don't care to fuck people over as long as it's not happening to them. I literally was thinking to myself like the other day, I couldn't get out of bed yesterday. I couldn't get out of bed like to go to work, even though it was literally feet away, because I just couldn't even imagine. I was worried about using time, you know what I'm saying, for my job. And something that occurred to me is there are people who will fucking take off and just don't care. There are people who will screw over anybody and just don't care. There are people out there who will ask for they will sooner ask for forgiveness than they would ask for permission. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to use a little bit of that audacity and just not fucking go to work yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm sure I will not get in trouble in any way, shape, or form for using my time. You know what I'm saying? But it still kind of struck me because I was up there.
I just looked up all those
Oh,
cards.
nice, nice, nice.
And so altogether, um, it could be depending on like quality or whatever. Uh, altogether, it would be like 50 to like $300 plus the one Gaia's Cradle, which was like 500 to 2000 range, depending how good it was. So that's not that much. Like he's like downplaying how much they are because there are a lot of really expensive cards, but that's not a little amount of money to be stolen.
It's just like fucking horrible that their friends will don't even understand, don't even seem like they want to understand. And now like I can feel not wanting to. I myself feel like that rebuilding it is horrible, but at the same time, I guess I don't really have anything, honestly, because like he didn't even use those cards. You know what I'm saying? They were just literally for show. And I don't know. I'm the kind of person like if it's mine, I'm gonna get it back. You know what I'm saying? I want it back. And you never know. You might come into a position in your life where you're able to get it back. I'd say honestly, maybe start over at a new game shop. You know what I'm saying? Maybe find a new group of friends that you want to play with. Find friends who you can trust outside of a local game shop. You know what I'm saying? And have fun with these people and build connections with these people. What happens? Maybe if you just don't have the passion for it anymore, maybe y'all can find passion over something else like video games or Star Trek or Star Wars or I don't know what other things do nerds like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know. Like, maybe out of this really shitty situation, something beautiful can arise. But that, I guess that's all I'm really trying to say is that I just think that there's, there's out of the ashes rises something new. And maybe it might be hard, but maybe you might get through it and learn and get something better. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not guruing great today. I'm not a guru though. Anyway, all right. So some people were saying, do you think you were targeted? This person says, I think you're right. I just don't really understand why. I've been playing there for a year, never had any issues. Everyone was always really friendly. I've been checking eBay, Craigslist postings from my local area to see if I can find any posts selling my collection, but nothing. I'm really at a loss. I mean, if I was a douche to people, then I'd sort of get it, but I'm really not. And I was going to say, they're not going to sell that shit, honey. They literally stole it for the bragging. They stole it for bragging rights. Like they're probably going to make up stories about it too. It's honestly really sickening that people are so horrible. People were saying in reference to the store owner helping. I think you're right. Pulling a folder of cards out of a bag at a Magic the Gathering event doesn't scream suspicious. And yeah, I kind of wish he'd done that as well. But in the moment, I didn't push it purely because my mind was totally all over the place. On the plus side, I did speak to the game owner or the game shop owner this afternoon, and he's trying to find footage and saying that he should have done more. But I might not get my cards back, but at least it's a start. That's fucking lit though that he was able to, get that. Anyway, so I got my card stolen back. Oh, there's an update. There was an update like 7 years ago. Wait, how many years ago was that? 10? 10 years ago. Yeah. All right. So if you hadn't, okay, whatever. All right. We just read that. All right. So I have an update to report. Okay. So many of you were supporting and being empathetic when I reported what happened at Friday Night Magic last week, and I felt like I owed it to you guys to tell you the second part of our story. And thankfully, an outcome. I'm extremely happy to have my folder back, so I'm sorry if I ramble. I'm just really euphoric. So at about 10:30 this morning, I got a call from the game shop owner, asking me if I could come down to the store because they had an update. I was actually on my way to work, but called in sick and turned around. Fuck yeah, bro. I was just talking about that. I get there, he's standing at the corner along with a police officer and a kid that I know from Friday Night Magic. His name is Pat, and his mother. Damn. Pat is about 12 or 13 years old, still in his school uniform, and my folder was on the counter. I slowly walked up to the counter, and the owner told me that he had gotten the camera footage from, thank you. Like there are so many like mom and pop shops, like local game shops, like that just don't have the footage going. Like, please have that shit going. You're fucking with people's livelihoods. Please have that shit going. Anyway, so he looked up the footage, he got it back, and after watching it, he identified the person, and he had been looking at it before the game started. As soon as I got up to look at my opponent, he quickly took it out of my bag and put it into his. When he called Pat to ask about it, he started crying and apologized immediately, then said he'd come into the store and return the cards. Once the owner had proof, he called the police, and an officer showed up once Pat was already there. The officer asked me if I wanted to press charges. Now, before I go any farther, you need a background on Pat. Oh, was he a piece of shit? He played Friday Night Magic every week without fail. He would always come with really, really janky decks that revolved around bizarre combos that would rarely, if ever, work. They were all built out of commons and uncommons, and generally, he always finished towards the bottom of the ladder at the end of the night. His two most memorable efforts were a blue black deck that contained absolutely nothing but counters and removals. He it sounds like some shit you would do. His he literally did not have a winning combination unless he'd be able to control and remove his opponent to milling himself out. So it's a mill deck. Wow.
It's the mill deck that didn't do it good.
Right. Also, he was only like 12 or 13. He probably honestly didn't have the cards he needed. And also he probably just like didn't have he had the idea, but but I was just gonna say maybe he just wasn't all there with it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he had something, but anyway. He said, and a deck that was all one drop red creatures. I played him when he had that, and his plan was to try to win fast. Okay, you have to learn how to win fast and control the other people, though. You was almost there, little Tink Tink. You were already almost there. Anyway, I asked Pat why he took my cards. I know how much he loves his own, and tried to appeal to that. He said that he never had any money to buy any on his own and thought if he could sell the ones that I had, he could get enough money to buy a deck that would help him win. I thought back to when I was 14 and first played Magic. I was god awful and I just wanted to be able to win a game or two. So call me stupid, call me a fool or whatever, but I knew where he was coming from and I felt sorry. Not for taking my cards, mind you, but I appreciated him returning him and understood how he felt. I hope he like maybe he'll let him use them or something as long as he returns them every night. You know what I mean? I told the officer I wasn't going to press charges, and his mom thanked me profusely. Once the officer left, the owner of the store said that Pat probably will not be allowed to play there anymore. I took him aside and asked him not to do that, as he obviously loved the game and just wanted to get better, and banning him from the store wouldn't help. The owner said that if he didn't ban him, he'd have to be painfully aware of what he's doing all the time. I begged more, and he agreed not to ban him. I spoke to Pat for about an hour, and he was telling me about the kind of decks he liked. I was still really annoyed at what he did, but he spoke with so much enthusiasm, I just couldn't resist. I bought a 2015 fat pack from the store, let Pat pull it all open, and spent that next hour and a half with him putting a deck together in the style he liked. We got most of the required cards out of the fat pack and what we were missing. I'm so happy. Um, this man, he's nerd. He's nerdy shit. It's so sweet. Okay. Okay. All right. So we put together a deck, and what we were missing, we bought from singles. It's okay. After all was done, my eyes were watering before this. They're just watering more now. Anyway. Anyway, also, I can't even see this far. That's how thick my glasses are. Anyway, after all that was done, we ended up with a blue black mill discard deck that will remain legal standard after rotation. We threw a few Ashioks in there, some Liliana Vesses. We grabbed them a few Phoenixes and Waste Knots. Aw, I spent a good 15 minutes to him trying to explain combos. For example, how opponents discarding when you have a Waste Knot out is always good, no matter what your situation is. Towards the end, he started to figure it out himself, asking me about combinations. I also got him some sleeves and some dye. Beautiful. He had always just used a pencil and a scrap of paper, and his cards have always been unsleeved. And he had a pretty decent deck to play with now. So I impressed upon him how important it was to have them protected. I let him keep the fat pack at the end of everything as well, and pointed to him a few good YouTube videos that explain the basics of deck building, mana curves, etc. Hopefully, that's enough to keep his enthusiasm going without taking other people's cards. I ended up spending about $65 to help him get a deck together. But honestly, also that's really good for if you are wanting to start. That is a good way to begin, is buying a fat pack. And that how much is that baby? Like $40 or something like that. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
And like so if you wanted to get started, you wanted to learn and teach this with your family, that is a good way to begin. But anyway, and then anyway, that's the end of my story. I called work and told them I'd come in for afternoon as I bailed on them. And I'm here now, but I couldn't resist telling you guys what happened after you were also supportive, despite my idiocy. I don't think that was idiotic. I think that you did what you thought was best for the situation. And I have to say, I agree. I mean, like, what else would anybody else have done? Like, it's really not that serious. And plus, you want to bring the people to the future. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to teach the next generation how to play, but the next generation? You know what I'm saying? So it's honestly awesome. But honestly, I wasn't expecting him to be a sweet little kid. I thought he was just going to be a piece of shit. Anyway, I'm getting a lot of people wanting me to send the cards. Thanks. Here's a oh, he's just like answering questions people are asking for help. Oh, how sweet. Anyway, what do you think about that? That was so cute. I can't wait to hear what y'all think about that. I think it's honestly a super cute story.
I think it's really cute, and also it's funny because that's like a lot of the cards I had. Holy shit, a lot of the cards I had.
Slappa shared his magic decks on TikTok time a few times at this point. I think I should be able to put together a playlist for magic. So I'll look into that. But yeah, that sounds super cute. Also, mill decks fucking are terrible. If y'all fucking do that shit, y'all fucking suck. Anyway, all
Yeah, fuck
right.
you, Pat. Who
Who
does
does
that?
Fuck you, Slapper. It's your fucking mill decks. Also, if you want to beat a mill deck, do a zombie deck. You're welcome. All right, so we got one more story. This one's gonna be Slapper's choice.
All right, this is one I saw the start of on TikTok, and I didn't know there was updates, but I ran across the updates. So let's read them.
Let's keep going.
My 20 male friend, 22 male, wants me to step aside so he can try and date my not girlfriend, 18 female.
First of all of y'all are mad sus. 20 and 18.
They
Y'all are
changed they changed the ages on the TikTok. The boyfriend girlfriend were the same age, and the friend was still 2 years older.
wow, that's fucked up. Also, how can you stop someone from dating your not girlfriend? That doesn't even make sense.
You'll see.
Is it like the people, okay, is it like the people, like I've had someone ask me one time, they were like, hey, I know you're single, even though I'm in a relationship where I've been with this person for several years. It would be really awesome if you and your singleness did not date the other single dude that's kind of hot that I'm friends with.
No.
Wow. All right, let's go.
A little over 3 years ago, I had just gotten out of a relationship with a girl who was really abusive. I broke up with her shortly before I graduated high school and wanted to take some time to focus on myself. Of course, a few weeks after the breakup, I meet the most gorgeous girl I've ever met, and we really hit it off. I'll refer to her as Lisa. She had also just gotten out of an abusive relationship, so neither one of us were looking for anything serious. At the time, my driver's license was suspended. Too much speeding. I learned my lesson. And my friend, I'll call him Ken. I'm just Ken.
Is this Ken Kenna?
It kind of is a Ken.
Oh, gross. So that's so depressing because on the one hand, Ken was deeply terrifying to me in the Barbie movie, but on the other hand, I absolutely understood and felt so bad for him. But that horse and that Macho Man mansion, man, and he had like four watches on and he put on some glasses and then he put on some more glasses and I was just so nervous the whole he's got too much stuff and too much.
And my friend, I'll call him Ken, would offer to drive me to see her. For a few months, we would mostly just all hang out together because we all got along so well. And she and I would mostly cuddle up if we were all watching a movie. Sometimes we would sneak off for a few minutes to make out a little, but not long because we didn't want to be rude to Ken. Lisa and Ken developed their own friendship during this time, but it was obviously platonic on both ends, like a older brother, younger sister dynamic. Ken also had a girlfriend of 4 years then, but they were hanging on by a thread. After 6 months, I got my license back and I'd go see Lisa and take her out without Ken. At that point, Lisa and I started having schmecks.
Oh.
That escalated quickly.
We both really liked each other, but I panicked and sort of ghosted her for a few weeks.
Oh.
What? Lisa and Ken continued talking, and he said he wasn't going to stop being friends with her because I was being an idiot. Fair enough. Fair enough. I realized I was being stupid, and Lisa agreed to see me again. We immediately picked right back up where we left off. Around this time, Ken and his girlfriend broke up, so I moved in with him. I would go see Lisa a few times a week, and she would come to our place on the weekends so we could all hang out. This continued for several more months until she ghosted me for about 2 weeks. Oh my God.
and I'm not gonna lie, I'm just like, she she's 18. Like, let that girl live.
She told Ken she was afraid I would bail on her again, and she didn't want to go through the pain again. We worked it out. But embarrassingly, this cycle has since repeated once or twice. Not in over a year, though. Well, good for y'all. Y'all figured out that's dumb, I guess. I don't remember doing that when I was 18. Were you like that?
No, because
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
now when I was 21, no.
You were ghosted, dude.
No, I was gonna say I never did any of that because when I was 18, not only did I meet my horrible abusive ex-husband, right? But also when I left that dude, I had like four dudes that I would regularly rotate around. I didn't need to like be stringing people along. I didn't need to be ghosting them. They knew what that shit was about. We hit it and quit it. We go have a beer, maybe hit it again and go the fuck home. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't do this because I was more prepared than that.
Well, they're only 18, okay? They weren't that much.
Baby though, you know what's crazy though is I was the same four dudes. I went to high school with all those dudes, so like I very well could have. I played myself.
All right, let's keep going. Over the last year, especially, mostly, okay. Over the last year, especially, mostly since she turned 18.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, this is even worse.
I've noticed that Ken has acted differently around Lisa. He'll flirt with her in front of me. She's very friendly with him, but does not flirt back and pulls away when he touches her. I told him I don't like it, but he said it doesn't matter if he flirts with her. It doesn't matter if he flirts with her. She loves me. She says she doesn't feel that way about Ken at all, and everything indicates that's the truth. Ken has also started drinking more, and the other night, Lisa wasn't here, he started whining about life not being fair. I took the bait and I asked what was wrong, and he started rambling about how Lisa is too good for me and I don't deserve her. I agree, but it still pissed me off.
Well, shit. I don't. How do you come? Yeah. So
I mean, he's right, but he then told me he's in love with her and has been for a while. And if I cared for either of them, God, this is gross as fuck now. I mean, it kind of was from the title, right?
I asked you if you wanted to read this, you weird.
I'm reading
it.
The demonic letter. He then told me he's in love with her and has been for a while. And if I cared for either of them at all, I'd step aside so he could pursue her. I didn't want to argue with him while he's drunk, so I went to bed. I confronted him in the morning and he doubled down. He said that I can't commit and I can't give her what she wants and needs. She isn't my girlfriend, so she's fair game to date. Am I wrong for thinking this is messed up? Lisa and I do have an unconventional relationship, I'll admit. We don't refer to each other as boyfriend, girlfriend, but we don't sleep with other people. We tell each other we love each other, and she usually stays at my house. And we have a good relationship with each other's families. I think we're pretty happy together. I know she doesn't want to be with him, so I'm not worried about that. But since Ken said those things, I can't help but question if I'm being unfair to Lisa by holding her back with me.
So I'm wondering kind of now, Butt Stuff said in the comment or in the live that that means that she had to have been at least 16, right? When they started. And
I was
so
thinking maybe she was 17 and he was about to turn 18. And it was
right.
like, okay, they're still in high school. They're about to graduate. That's okay. But now it's like she just turned 18 and you graduated, like you've been 18 at least.
But I'm saying like, so they've been doing that for about a year, which means so that's 19, 18. But that still means that that one dude was at least 21 or 20.
A full ass grown man. well, not like grown, but he definitely was not a teenager hanging out with these
Like he
teenagers.
was definitely on the cusp of when it's not
He was
okay.
a super duper senior.
No, he had to have. Oh, I guess maybe because he was 21, right?
Right, but he's like, there's like super seniors, the guys who like failed a year and now they're 19, still in high school. But then you got the guys who were that guy and then also just kept hanging out with high schoolers after he graduated.
Like in the Final Destination 3, that dude with the he got by the fan. Yeah, that's what that reminds me of. But still, that's too old. That's too old. Even at 20, you shouldn't be hanging out anymore. I can understand the OP because he was maybe 19, maybe 18 or 19. You know what I'm saying? But that still means that she was underage. That still means that he was still overage. And that still means that Ken was too fucking old and he was doing the most. He was doing the Ken most. And I know it didn't work. He was doing Kenuff and he needs to stop.
Doing Ken too much.
Completely out of control.
OP was well, the most I'll give him is they went to high school together. She was a junior, he was a senior, and that's like okay, but still, I didn't like the guys who dated down like that, anyways, because they were all a certain type of guy. But Ken should definitely not be hanging out with these fucking high schoolers.
I wonder how they even became friends in the first place. So they said 3 years ago. So butt stuff's even more right because that means it has to be at least 15 or 16. Ew, it's all fucking gross. Anyway, is that the end of the story? Is there more? Oh no, there's more.
I did tell Lisa everything Ken said about her and our relationship immediately. She's not interested in him, and he has been making her uncomfortable. Also, because it's been asked a few times, Lisa and I have always been on the same page about our relationship, and I'm aware that she's her own person and can be with whoever she wants. Ken is the only one treating this as some competition.
I'm really hoping this doesn't go the way I think it's gonna go. It better not go with her ending up with that dude because I'm just gonna be very angry about the age gap red flag relationship series, first of all, but also because how many of us have made this choice. And it's I just really hope it's not going to turn out that she's going to be actually interested because an older dude wants to be with her. You know what I'm saying? I really hope not.
This morning, I did talk to Ken again and told him what she said to me, which was essentially that his advances have been making him uncomfortable. And if he wants to maintain any friendship with us, then he's got to let this go and get back to how we used to be. He said he won't believe it until he hears her say it herself without me around. I'm conflicted on that because I don't want to come across as controlling, but I also worry about his reaction when she rejects his advances.
I think that's super valid. I was thinking I don't think I would trust anybody who would be I would not trust a 22-year-old in a room alone with an 18-year-old talking about their feelings because one, they're only 18, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how strong she is. My immediate thought is going to be he's going to hurt her. And I know that's really fucked up, but like, am I wrong? The track record for everyone, literally all of our people, we all been there.
All right, and now we got an update.
Oh, we got an update. Don't put that in there.
I would do it.
Man, please cut that shit out.
If you want me to cut it out, why you keep unmuting when you do stuff? I have been staying with Lisa for about a week now. Since the initial confrontation with Ken, and thanks to people here, I was sure I wanted to ask her if she wanted to make things more official. She ended up making things even easier for me, as luck would have it. Lisa asked me if it might make things easier if I just told Ken that she was my girlfriend. I jumped on that opportunity and asked if I could tell everyone she's my girlfriend, and she said yes. She and I are going to look at a few apartments this week since I obviously need a new living situation and we want to move in together. What is with people being weird about saying you're my girlfriend? Like, what is that?
Commitment, convenience. being young and stupid. Maybe they had a hard time. Maybe they had a hard time saying it because she was fucking 15 or 16 and he was like 19 or 20.
You're probably entirely right on that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know you're doing wrong, so you act super weird about it too.
Because I get like the only reason I'm even like listening to the rest of the story because I feel like I wanted you to stop, but it's once
we need closure.
We like we started have to finish. But no, like I feel like the only reason I'm even tolerating this dude is because it's obvious that they knew each other in high school, had to have known each other in high school or something like that. But like
they tell on themselves. The other day I said, I don't remember even what I commented on some, there's that trend going around where the Adele song, When We Were Young, and it started out cute with like really old couples and when they got married, and it was cute. And then it started becoming really big age gap couples and them when like the husband was holding his wife as a baby because he was.
Did you hear about that? Did you hear about that?
That one was fake or something, right?
Yeah. So it turns out that the one she purposefully found this person who that photo was in someone's memorial.
Yeah.
And so she somehow gained access to that, whether it's her own family member or somebody's family member who gave her the access, whatever the case may be. She stole that from someone's memorial and pretended like that was them. And it was just someone's probably dad who was probably a really sweet dude.
Yeah, I think they were just hopping on it to get like a bunch of attention and they fucking got it because that was wild.
But
there were real ones like that, like 20 something year age gaps where they knew them as a child, like they were their dad's friend or something when they were born.
Yeah, but I think what I was like most concerned about is like, why would you want that sort of attention on you?
People just feel good when they get attention on it sometimes.
But like, so, and then like, I don't know, it just like made all of the other people just seem even worse than they already were. Like, I don't know. It's like people are making fun of y'all. And I don't know. There is nothing anyone can tell me about age gap relationships, like, you know what I'm saying, that will make me feel comfortable. The only time I can even accept it is when the people are at least in their mid to late 20s or early 30s and they just met. But I'm still side-eyeing the older party because why aren't you dating someone who's your fucking age? You know what I'm saying? So I just can't get behind them. Even people are saying, well, granddad was looking at little girls and he was looking at them back then, and it's not any different. Just because it's 2024, it doesn't mean it wasn't fucking weird back then. It was weird. There are people who say that, listen, I don't understand. You're not going to get far with me it was a different time because it was never okay. Half the shit that people are trying to excuse wasn't okay back then and it's not okay right now. When people say people were enslaved, that's just what they did. It wasn't okay for the people who were enslaved. What do you think they felt like? They want to go home. They want to go to their homes. There is something wrong with that. It was wrong back then. It was wrong when anybody did it. And it's going to be wrong today. This age gap red flag relationship was wrong back then. And it's still wrong today. Y'all are fucking weird for that shit. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I went way off.
So anyway, on one of those posts, someone was talking about like 17-year-old and a 29 or something, and that's fine. Or like that wasn't okay. But then someone was like, well, 18 and 30, that's fine because they're legal. And I was like, what exactly is the difference there? Like that 1 year of like, to me, the worst thing is just, it's a huge gap like that anyways. Like you're 30 dating an 18-year-old. It's only legal because of a year, but even if it was in the illegal zone, you're still dating someone 12 years younger than you.
Right.
But people are arguing that it's okay because it's the younger person's 1 year older. Why? It's still the same gap. It's still gross. You know?
I can't even like begin to understand. How old will we be when the kids turn 18?
Damn, hold on.
You're
You're
asking
asking me
me.
math right now?
You the math whiz.
No, I'm not. That's you.
So if Rose is 8 right now, that means in 10 years, so we'll be 43 and 45.
45.
Okay.
God damn.
The people are out there like that right now, 40 and 18. And it only just occurred to me like at this second how sickening that is. That's your child. That's your child that you raised from baby to 18. 45, 43 years old I will be when Rose turns 18. And I'm just like, I can't, all right. Okay. That's enough of that.
But anyways, I just asked that question, and the amount, like maybe 3 or 4 different girls, I say girls because they were 18 to 21-ish, telling me their life story, defending their age gap relationships. Like these people will tell on themselves. They will be weird online. Like I was just like, I've never seen anybody have to actually explain a healthy, safe relationship to a stranger online like this. Like you are letting us all know you know there's an issue and you're very defensive for no reason. You don't know me. I don't know you. I didn't ask you about it. You came out of nowhere to tell me like paragraphs of how your relationship is okay and a good thing. Okay, read that back to yourself. Thank you.
Right. Like if you have to like start overly defending with little minimal, like someone asks one single question and you're coming back with like, that's a problem. I'm sorry. Like, because that means that you're having to over explain because you're feeling anxious or anxiety about it. If you're having to over explain like that, that means that you feel insecure and you want to explain it just right. Or what if the other people feels insecure or about it and they just want to explain it just right? Someone is uncomfortable in this exchange and it's not the person who asked the question. Okay. People will always tell on themselves. But someone mentioned in here, and I do appreciate them for asking and giving me just a quick moment. They were saying 40 and 36. I think that's fine. Because
if you met when y'all were in your 30s and 40s,
yeah, like that's why I'm giving the like
that's
I'm
only 4 years.
like
that would be fine in your 20s too.
Right. That's why I'm giving this OP a lot of leeway because it sounds like 3 years ago he was 17 and she, you know what I'm saying, might have been in high school with him. She might have been a freshman and a junior, and it's still a little sus, but okay, you know, they got history. But this 22-year-old, you know what I'm saying? He's a problem. I think Slappa, I think you're 3 years older than me. 2.
I'm like barely 2 years older.
Slappa's barely 2 years older than me. I thought he was a little older than that. But like I would say for me personally, I wouldn't date 5 years older than myself. That's pretty much it. I wouldn't go much higher than that.
For me, I feel like when you're younger, I feel like it's entirely for me based on peer group, like where you are in life. So if you're 15, you're not going to be where a 16-year-old even is. Like you are with your peer group entirely, like your school grade, pretty much everyone's the same age. But as you get older, you go to college and now you're with a bigger age group. You know what I mean? So as you get older, I feel like the age gap widens with people who are on your level and there's not going to be a power imbalance. You know what I mean?
I suppose. But then that would be playing right into this dude. But again, we're judging by 3 years ago, right? When they met. That 22-year-old is still out of the question. But right now, if she had gone to college and they met in college, I respect it. You know what I'm saying? But it's also, again, all this with a grain of salt, I guess, because I'm not, this is these people's lives. That's how they chose to use their lives. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do this shit, but I'm just saying, like, if that's what you want to do, fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to do what you want to at the end of the day. You grown and sexy as fuck. Good for you for being grown and sexy as fuck. Just know that the people are side eyeing you. Okay.
Right. Like,
Keep going, baby.
If you roll your pizza up and eat it from the crust side first, I'm gonna be like, ugh, why are you doing this?
Hey, but you eating
I'm
that?
not gonna like yell at you, stop it! Don't do that! I can't control you, but you're gonna do what you're gonna do.
Will you finish this story? I'm fucking sick of this story. You wanted to read this. I didn't want.
Okay, so he told everyone. He told everyone Lisa's his girlfriend, and he told Ken that Lisa's his girlfriend. Lisa and OP are gonna look for new apartments since obviously he'll need a new place to live because Ken's probably not gonna take it well. Ken and I had a few brief discussions after he told me he wanted to be with Lisa. He refused to believe any of it without confirmation from her in person, without me. And she initially agreed to meet with him on Sunday, and with that plan, they would meet at her house since she lives with her mom and stepdad. But he rejected that, saying he wanted to meet at the apartment without me there. She told him she wasn't comfortable with that, and if he wanted to meet up without her parents, they had to be at least somewhere in public. He got pissed that his threatening behavior made her feel threatened, and he went on a tirade and called her every name in the book. She told him she wasn't going to see him again at all and blocked his number. He has tried reaching out to me a few times, ranging from sad to aggressive, and I'm about a text or two from blocking him as well. Just block him! What the fuck? Hopefully he'll just move on and it won't come to that. To blocking him? I'll block anybody.
Yo, stop it, Will. He got that mad Scorpio energy. He was like, I'll block the sun.
I got sunblock. To clarify, we both wish him well, but neither one of us want to continue a friendship with him. And since posting this, I have also blocked him. And I agree that there's no point in keeping any lines of communication open anymore. I've since also reached out to some friends to go and get the rest of my stuff from the apartment, but I was already able to get most of my stuff when I first left. And that's it. I guess
it's just a summarization.
Yeah, they're still together, not living with Ken. When we first got to the apartment, Ken was obviously drunk, but calm and almost seemed apologetic. I'd already decided I wasn't going to engage with him because there's no point anymore. And he did not like being ignored, apparently, and started going off, gradually saying worse and worse shit. He started saying shit about Lisa, but I was able to ignore him and let it roll off my back until he told me I might need to F her up to get her in line. He knows her ex before me was abusive. I'm very thankful my friends were able to get me out of there quickly because I've never been angry like that in my life.
And that's the end. And I wanted you to read that part because like he just showed his true colors. He was always going to whoop her ass. He was always going to. And then people were saying like when Slappa was reading there was like an exchange. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Best of Redditor updates, but there's always like, if it's relevant, there's relative comments, right? And one of them was like, just like we were afraid that he was going to SA her or something. And then this person was like, I don't know, it's always just been a strained relationship and stuff like that. So it seems like he wants to control her, but she rejects him. He wanted her alone in the room. He rejected seeing her with her parents, which by the way, I hope that stepdad would have whooped his ass if he stepped foot in the house. But like, I'm just saying, like, there was just so much. He was leading up to that. He knows she has an abusive ex. So he knows that there's a level that she's willing to accept. He wants to press how far. And that was always the goal. And I'm so glad it did not go the way that I thought it was going to, which is that she was going to be like, oh, an older dude. I'm so fucking glad. Now, this age gap is acceptable to me, I guess, after, talking and discussing on it and me not just being ready to fucking just like knee kick that dude in the fucking nads, you know what I'm saying? And then like Godzilla shriek, screonk into his face. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel a lot better, but at the same time, it's just kind of sickening to me to know that there's always going to be that caliber of dude around. And he claims like he didn't recognize this about him, but he did, but it just wasn't affecting him. and now it was affecting him, and so he got out, and that's when he solidified things with his girlfriend. On the one hand, I'm just like, good for y'all for finally solidifying things, but it shouldn't have had to take being around a really scary drunk dude. It shouldn't have had to take him making her that uncomfortable for y'all to have done that. Like, it's just weird. But I do wish them the best. I hope that they, whatever, good tidings and whatever. Anyway, anything else, my love? We're kind of like at the end of this one. You went this long. I
I'm
fucking hate
sorry.
this time.
Yeah, I mean, take care of yourselves.
That's it for this episode. I don't know. Like I said, there's not going to be an episode next week, and I just love you guys so very much. As always, I can't believe we've been doing this for almost a year, and we just gonna keep on keeping on.
Bye.
Bye.